Oh, the sweet joys of boating. In many cases, it starts well before you get out on the water. Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week, and today we're going to focus on some of that. Kind of what all goes into getting that boat out on the water and some of the fun you're going to experience in your boating lifetime as you get that boat ready to go. Now, some people will learn their lessons quickly and realize that the boat ramp can be a dangerous place, and they'll take extra precautions to make sure they're safe down there. Yet some others will try and cut corners. They'll go ahead and disconnect that safety chain and that bow eye hook well before they're in the drink, and sometimes their vessel might hit something a little harder than the water. And then of course, vessels aren't the only thing that's going to hit the water. If you hit the boat ramp long enough, you're bound to see some other things sitting in the drink. Now, I know many of you are sitting there thinking, well, BG, how do I avoid this? How do I not be this guy down at the ramp? Well, the reality is this kind of stuff can happen to anyone, but there are steps you can take to try and avoid these types of things happening to yourself down at the ramp. And one of the first steps I would tell you to do is not buy a Jeep Wrangler. I have no clue why. All the time we spend at the boat ramps, it seems like this is the number one vehicle I see in the water. Step number 2, get to know your local boat ramp. Go down there before your first launch. Just sit around for a little bit, watch others launch, and see what kind of issues they may be having. If you see that the ramp's extremely slick, well, you might want to make sure that you've got a four-wheel drive vehicle. If not, you might need a little extra horsepower in the end to get that boat out of the water. And even using that extra horsepower in the end, if you don't time it right, you still might find yourself stuck on the ramp without four-wheel drive and might have to play a little bit of extra games to try and get yourself out. But one of the keys to learn about the boat ramp, if you ever find yourself slipping, is you need to get a little bit of additional weight on those rear tires. Typically, the number one reason we see vehicles slipping at the boat ramp is going to be there's not enough weight on those rear tires. And typically this can be from there being not enough tongue weight on the trailer. It can be that the boat is misloaded, or even straight from the factory, or however you have your trailer set up, your boat may be too far back on the trailer, and when it does this, it actually lifts up on those rear tires, causing them to slip easier. And as you know, that can lead to some real trouble at the boat ramp, because if you lose grip on those rear tires and you're not quick enough on the brake, well, you're probably getting a free car wash. Now, sometimes it'll be easy to tell that your boat's just not loaded correctly on the trailer. Other times you may actually have to go to a scale and get the tongue weight weighed. This might be the leading cause of it, but of course, a lot of places ramps are going to be slick, and this can add to the complexity of trying to get your vessel out of the water. Once again, if your boat's not loaded on the trailer correctly, it's just going to make your rear tires slip easier, but some ramps are extremely slick. It's not even going to be about that tire grip. You're just not going to be able to get a grip no matter what you're doing at the ramp, and you'll find yourself slipping and sliding even as you're just trying to get the boat loaded. Now, of course, if your ramp is extremely slick, it's going to add a whole lot more complexity to the situation. Anything you're doing down there all of a sudden is going to be tough, including just loading the boat. There are still ways to avoid this. One of the best ways to avoid this if you deal with an extremely slick ramp is trying to plan your launches and retrievals around a higher tide mark. Typically, the slickness of the ramp is caused by algae growth on the ramp from the water. So the higher the tide, the more ramp you'll be dealing with that's not typically touched by the water. But no matter what, you still have to pay attention the whole time. The second you let your guard down in a slick ramp, well, things are going to go wrong. Of course, the boat ramp is just part of the fun. You've got to get your boat down to the boat ramp, which adds a whole nother process where plenty of things can go wrong while you're attempting to do this, but they won't always be your fault.
The boat went through his windshield. Oh my god. Oh, that is so terrible. Oh, poor guy, dude.
Man, this was his day off.
Yeah, he's just out here vibing, He's coming to ride on his boat, have a good time.
Now I know what some of you are already thinking. Hey BG, this whole towing and launching thing, that's not going to be for me. I just want the better parts of boating. I may go that marina path, and you absolutely can. And for many people, the marina path is the correct choice, but it's still not for everybody. While for many people, the marina lifestyle will make your life of getting the boat out on the water a whole lot easier, it comes at a cost. Marinas typically are expensive, and they're difficult to get into sometimes. A whole lot harder to get into than they are to get out of. Well, you'll find if you don't pay rent at your marina, the eviction process itself can be quite violent sometimes. Now, of course, the cost of this is going to make that marina path not quite for everybody, but no matter which path you choose to be out on the water, just make sure you're prepared to handle it the best way you can. Thanks for watching, guys. I sure hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know when you might see your stories over here. Just like the Miami Boat Ramps channel, Anthony Luciano, Arnold Kellogg, Balby, Boston Heimel, Harper Swan, Sean Christie, and Sibian Gent did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.